Hi everyone! The American tanks are now a common sight in War Thunder. If you have been with us for a while, you will remember that it was not always the case, not until the 145 patch at least. But players today have accumulated a solid knowledge base for these vehicles. In this video, we will closely review the American tech tree for their ground vehicles. The USA's early tanks are nothing but pain and misery for any novice player. Their cannons are weak, their armor is paper thin. But what they have in abundance, though, is the number of crew members. This allows these tanks to survive a bit longer on the field of battle. The first American tank that can do some proper fighting is M3 Lee. It has decent armor and two superb cannons. Some say that this tank is actually too good for its combat rating. M3 Lee can utterly dominate low-tier battles, if used right. Next up is M5A1, which is normally thrown against Tier 1 vehicles. There, its speed and fast reload make it a breeze to play, even despite its lack of any meaningful armor. Be aware though, by saying that it lacks armor, we meant it. Any wrong move and you are a burning wreck. So, this tank demands your complete attention and focus to play successfully. M22 Locust. It is a light and very fast tank with a quick-firing gun. But its usual opponents, the German Panzers and T-34s, are all but invulnerable to its shots up front. Use this tank to flank the opposition and provide fast respawns on the front, but always remember that this is a light tank, so it will not survive more than a couple of direct hits. M4A1, the first in the long line of the venerable Sherman tanks. This first model is actually quite a decent medium tank. It's fast and has a good cannon. Though you need to keep your vulnerable spots hidden, the bow gun and the bottom part of the front arm. But its turret is quite tough. The most common enemy of M4A1 is an early T-34, which will have virtually no chance of penetrating your turret, whereas your cannon will be very effective against it, especially given its wide elevation angles. These will allow you to use the cannon from behind terrain, while staying virtually invisible to return fire. M4A3. The main difference of this model from a regular Sherman is an up-armored front and a 105mm howitzer. This tank is a real annihilator, which high-explosive shells can easily wreck most opponents in one well-placed shot. Just be careful and avoid return fire, as this is not a heavy tank. M4. Basically, this is a clone of the A1 model, but this one has improved side armor and, as a result, a slightly higher combat rating. Nothing special there. M24 Chaffee. This light tank is a surprisingly effective vehicle. Its combat rating of 3.7 will put you against Tier 2 tanks, where Chaffee's superb speed and cannon will leave its opponents far behind. The only real flaw for this tank is its light armor, which is to be expected for any light tank. M4A2, yet another Sherman. This model is good overall, but its combat rating sometimes puts it against higher-level Tiger tanks, which A2 will have a hard time killing effectively, while itself being extremely vulnerable for attack from the sides. Remember, only show your decent front armor to the enemy if you want to survive. Next up are three modifications of M4 Sherman with an upgraded 76mm cannon. This is not always a good thing because the tank's battle rating has gone up, but often the Tigers and Panthers are still too tough and not to crack, even for this upgun Sherman. Your best hope of effectively dealing with these two enemies is the sub-caliber munitions offered by the last modification of the said Sherman. But even then, you have to be careful when going up against them. M6A1. In our opinion, this has to be one of the least successful American tanks in the entire tech tree. This is basically an oversized gas tank on threads. Its cannon is weak, its armor is subpar. Just grind your teeth and hope to get to the next tank in the tree ASAP. Once there, forget the M6A1 like it's a nightmare. Jumbo assault tanks, or the M4 A2 E3 series, are powerful assault tanks with extremely thick frontal hull and turret armor, albeit still not as tough as their German counterparts. However, Jumbos have kind of a weak cannon for the battle rating they have. The sub-caliber rounds compensate for that a little, but these do very little damage what's inside the tank and ricochet quite often. To use this cannon at sub-caliber rounds, you'll have to know exactly where to shoot. Otherwise, Jumbo is a solid tank for suppressing the enemy and holding ground. M41A1 Walker Bulldog. This is a blinding fast, extremely lethal, and legendarily flimsy tank. It is so fast that it can go up to 72 km per hour off-road. Its cannon is so nasty that its sub-caliber round can penetrate up to 238 mm of solid steel, and its armor is so pathetic that top Tier 4 rounds go right past it without even triggering the fuse to explode the shell inside the tank. This tank is ideal for quick rushes and cunning flanking maneuvers. M26 Pershing. One of the best overall tanks of the entire tech tree, if not the best. The mighty Pershing is a medium tank with armor on par with some heavy tanks. Its powerful 90mm cannon and its AP shell is usually more than enough to kill anything in one hit. For those extra tough targets, the tank has sub-caliber rounds, which you will use very rarely because of the might offered by the regular AP rounds. The only two weak spots this tank has are engine and transmission. With its engine busted, Pershing will find it difficult to navigate even a minor hill. T-32, the last tank of Tier 4. It is slow and purposeful, as it should be. The slumbering behemoth is armed with a 90mm cannon, capable of penetrating most opponents' armor from 2 km away. The only flaw this cannon has is its shell, which is an AP whole cast shell. So no matter where you penetrate the target's armor, the shell will never explode inside the enemy tank, so it could prove difficult to kill an enemy with a single hit unless you somehow hit their ammo storage. Don't forget that this cannon takes up to 18 seconds to reload too. M46 Patton and M47 Patton Co, the pinnacle of the American medium tanks. On the outside, it looks like an M41 that got fat. This tank is virtually flawless though. Its armament, armor with good sloping angles, cannon elevation, engine power, and speed are all superb. We can go at great length praising this vehicle, but trust us, it's good, which is natural for a top tank of Tier 5. Last but not least, we have the M103. This is perhaps the most controversial tank of them all. This is a top tier vehicle, it's a fact. It has good AP shells, but they are also whole cast and have no explosives inside. This tank's armor is very thick, but it also has a sizable number of vulnerable spots. Overall, this is a tank for a real ace, so you will have to constantly hide your bottom front armor and sides, only engaging your enemies with a hidden high tactics, whereas your own shots must be dead on at all times, because the reloading takes over 20 seconds. So, go for the sub-caliber rounds for added effectiveness, or use its heat rounds that can penetrate up to 380mm of steel armor. The American self-propelled anti-aircraft guns are a whole different topic. Most of them are armed with machine guns, and en masse, they can create a literal maelstrom of fire. But when they're alone, they're not as effective, especially at high-tier battles, where the enemy planes are both fast and tough. So unlike their Soviet and German counterparts, the US's AAAs are mostly incapable of engaging enemy tanks, all due to lackluster weapon calibers. Which actually could be a benefit, because historically, the SP-AAGs were never widely used against hard targets such as tanks. In one of the recent patches, the developers have introduced another interesting branch to the tech tree, the tank destroyers, a kind of an American fusion of a tank and an SPG. These are the M10, M18, M36, and M95, which we will discuss in one of our future videos. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and never miss another War Thunder tutorial again. See ya!